Welcome on in to the 411 podcast. What's going on, everybody? How you doing out there? It feels so good. Feels so good to be here. Feels so good to be rocking and rolling and continuously doing this thing. Despite all of the challenges, I'm going to keep speaking that because it's reality, but it is what it is. I'm still going to keep coming and I'm still going to keep coming. So it is what it is. And we here, we live, we up, 411 podcast, this four sphere realm of relationships, live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Whew. Yes, it's been a journey. There's been some tests and there's been some trials, but I'm a survivor, so I'm going to still keep coming and I'm going to still keep coming. And of course, I couldn't do any of this without my executive producer, my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Thank you so much for giving me another opportunity to do this podcast thing again. This is my passion and this is what I do. So I'm here, and the amount of love and support that I've been getting so far and the newcomers that have been coming in, thank you so much. For the record, I am not streaming live on Instagram or TikTok. So for the rest of this week, there will be no live streaming on Instagram or TikTok. However, I will, put, segments of the show on Instagram and TikTok once it's all done. But for the best experience, I can probably say head on over to YouTube. You can head on over to Facebook. I believe that you have to actually be following me. You have to be a follower on Facebook in order to see the live video. And at first, so while it's going live, it's only available to people who follow me. Now, after it's over, then it will be open up to the public. So if you want to watch the live broadcast on Facebook, you have to actually be a follower. So follow me on Facebook, and then you can watch it while we're doing it live, or otherwise just catch the replay afterwards. So I finally figured that thing out, because a lot of people were like, I can't find you on Facebook. You won't be able to find me on Facebook unless you're following. So that's it for the Facebook. X, formerly known as Twitter, that's a great platform as well. I love the way it looks on there as well. And of course YouTube, and D Live, Twitch, that's always live as well. So thank you so much for coming on in. We talking about he, his, him. So just with that title, we going in. So let's just go ahead and kick it off. Song of the day, He's Mine by MoKenStef. Now, I'm not quite sure if anybody remembers that group. Early 90s, mid 90s maybe. MoKenStef, He's Mine. You might have had him once, but I got him all the time. No, you know how that song is. And there's this new chick out there, Honey Baby. She has a little remix. I'm not going to say what the name of hers is, but just look at her new album. There's a song that she has on there called Him Too. I'm going to just put that, Him Too. So just check that out on her album. And what she actually does is she takes the SWV song Weak, and she, samples it a little bit, and she also comes off of the MoKenStef as well. So you get a little bit of a combination with both of them on Honey Baby's song. Very interesting. So people were probably like, well, what is this title? What does this mean? There's three. There's he, his, and him. So sounds like there's a little love triangle going on. So that's what it is tonight. He, his, him, caught up in love triangles and how to overcome them. And we're going to kick it off with some eating habits too, some healthy eating habits. So we have my friend Chef Gina B coming in the building tonight, all the way from North Carolina. She always gets me together when it comes to, that good old home cooking, because she knows how to do it the way I like it. Because for those of you that don't know, I am a pescatarian. There's all different types of, methods out there that people can go. I believe that Miss Chef Gina B has a book focused towards the vegan lifestyle as well. That's just, something that I haven't been able to get to at this moment. But for right now, it's a little transition part as well. So we can talk a little bit about that too. A lot of people, they will go from, pescatarian to vegetarian to vegan, and it's sort of a process. So she'll be able to fill us in on all of that great stuff. So Song of the day, He's Mine by MoKenStef. So this is about, someone knowing that they're not the only one. Like, that you're not the only one, but you're still going to go toe to toe with the other party to try to go ahead and become the only one. So, for those of you out there, anybody has ever been in a situation with a love triangle, did you think that you were the only one? And when you discovered that you were not the only one, how did you handle that situation? Did you go toe to toe with the other party, with the third wheel, or did you just back up and say, "Okay, I'm gonna wait this thing out and see how this thing flows"? So we're just gonna keep it all the way real. How many of us have been in a love triangle? I feel that some of us have been in it a little bit too much, more than what we like to, admit. So when it comes to he, his, and him, this is what I have to say today. After going through all of the drama, going through all of the BS, thinking that you're the only one, not the only one, I'm going to be the only one, I'm going to make it that way, trust and believe that you're mine. One thing that I've learned in life is that there is no he's mine. There is no that she's mine. There is none of that, because we can't control other people. People are not possessions. So I don't believe that we should ever get to a point where we're ever saying he's mine, she's mine, that's mine, you're mine. It doesn't work that way. Because at the end of the day, if somebody wants to wake up the next day and say, guess what? I'm really not feeling this situation and I think that, we're done. That's what that means. And a lot of times we can't get to that meaning because there's someone on the other end who's stuck saying, oh no, you're mine. Here's what I have to say. The person that I am today, after going through all of these different types of scenarios, he might be over there, right? So I see that he's over there. All right, I'm right here. He might be over there. And the fact that he's showing up, that I know that he's here, whether I see him there, whether I get a little inclination, whether, a phone goes off in the middle of the night, whatever happens. The fact is that he's here, right? He showed up in this situation because I'm already here. But now all of a sudden he's here. Okay, so I got that. So basically, the situation presents itself. So he's here. The fact that he's here already lets me know that you're his. So now that you are his, because otherwise he wouldn't be here, so you're his, now there's two of us. So now we're going to have to figure out, is it going to be me or is it going to be him? So that's how we get through the he, his, him. So he's already done showed up because the situation that presented itself. I don't care how it's going to show up. Did the cell phone go off? Did somebody slip up and say something or be somewhere where they weren't supposed to be? Did you discover something? Somebody come home smelling like a different type of cologne or something like that. I don't know what the situation may be. But he showed up and he's presented himself. The situation has presented itself. And because of that, you're already letting me know that you are his. So the fact that you're letting me know that you are his, because that's total disrespect. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be having this situation. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. Cool. You're his, because guess what? If you were really mine, we wouldn't be having this situation. So you already done told me that you're his. Cool. So now we have to be in this situation. I was in this situation just way too many times, probably about 3 times if I can think about it, where I had to step up and be like, okay, is it going to be either me or is it going to be him? Now, back in the day, I would be like, oh, you're going to pick me, you're going to choose me, this, that, doing the whole thing, the song and dance. Oh, they ain't got nothing on me and all that other stuff. Like, I've done that before. Comparing yourself, trying to figure out what's going on with the situation. I've done that before. We ain't doing that today. I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you out with something real slick and real dope, because now that you already done showed me that you're his, and now we at the situation where we got to go ahead and pick. We got to pick whether it's me or it's him. I pick me today. So I'm picking me today, and you don't even have to worry about it. I'm helping you out 100%. That's where we're at. Track 2. He, his, him. This 4-sphere realm of relationships. We're not doing it no more. No more love triangles. No more getting caught up and hung up and damn near dying and crying over somebody that really could care less about you in the first place. Because if they would, and if they did, we wouldn't be here where all of a sudden he's showing up And now you let me know that, you're his. And now we're going to have to pick whether it's going to be me or him. We're not doing that today. Song of the day, He's Mine, MoKenStef. Go ahead and check that out. And I realized that so many other people have did little renditions of that song. And I want to go back to SWV because this is a classic song. Shout out to SWV. Love the debut album, It's About Time. I can go through so many of the joints that I love off of that. Right here, y'all know that I love the Wu-Tang Clan remix. That is just dope. I love that beat. Downtown was on there. Come on, y'all, help me out with the SWV. Help me out. Let me check out some of these comments here. For those of you who love SWV, because we're getting ready to get into this. What's going on, SOS? I see you out there. Onyx Blade, thank you so much for joining. Yes, yes, yes. He, his, him. Very lucky to still... Thank you so much, SOS. Let's go back to this SWV a little bit because I'm about ready to get into this a little bit too because Weak was a powerful song and it still is a very powerful song. Thank you so much to everybody who's out there joining. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, invite them in because it's going down tonight. We're going to have a great time with Chef Gina B when she comes in soon. All right, after going through this he, his, him situation, and for y'all out there, the ladies, I know y'all sometimes go through it more than the fellas, but believe it or not, sometimes the fellas go through it more, but they just be afraid to say it because their pride and all of that type of stuff. So for the ladies out there, how we gonna do it? She, hers, whatever. Y'all know how that is, but there you go. SWV, that first album was so dope. And what's the debut song off of that? Come on, somebody help me out. SWV, the debut song off of the first album. Oh, there we go. I'm So Into You. Oh, I love that beat that just go in, especially that breakdown. I don't care. It's just a classic song. I'll be in a car sometime, and when it come on, and that part, turn it right on up. When they be like, "You're not mine," and you're not mine. Love SWV for that. But Weak is a powerful song. And you got to be very careful with getting caught up into songs like this because we talked about last night about playing the same record over and over and over again. Now, after going through this awakening, after going through and realizing realizing who I am, because we typically forget who we are when we get caught up into relationships and situations, and we forget who we are, and then sometimes we got to get snapped back into reality check, and we're like, okay, thank you, now I remember who I am. So now that I know and understand, there's no way ever, and I'm going to keep saying this, I'm going to keep drilling it in to make sure that I don't ever get caught up in this situation again, to where I will ever sit here and let somebody get me so weak in the knees that I could hardly speak. That is absolutely ridiculous. Great song, but back in the day, everybody had it on. It was number one for like damn near 2 years straight. But never should anybody ever be in a situation where you get so weak in the knees that you can hardly speak, and you're just so caught up, and this person just got you so knocked off your feet, and you just no, not doing it today. Because here's why: we get in these relationships and we get in these situations, and we think that this person is the one, and sometimes we make a mistake and we call this person our everything, and then all of a sudden we start to drift away from what we truly are and who we truly are, and it's all about this person, it's all about that person, and the next thing you know, you forgot who you are. And then when they decide to pull the rug up or whatever they decide to do the 180, and I'm not saying that this is going to happen all the time, but this is the risk that you may take when you go ahead and you put all of that energy and all of that focus onto somebody else instead of focusing on self. I'm just saying, today, the person that I am, absolutely not. We will not get to a point where we have somebody getting us so weak in the knees that we could hardly speak. And we will not get to a point where we're going to go toe to toe with somebody else. Now, some of us get into situations on purpose because we know that we are in the wrong because we just want what we want. So that person might be married, that person might already have somebody, or we want to go ahead and have a little side piece situation. We're going to talk about friends with benefits later on during the week. We're going to talk about that where you willingly go into a situation knowing that you ain't the only one. How can you handle that situation? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about that. That's different. When you get to a point where you realize that you are not the only one, are you going to go toe to toe? Is that person really worth it that you should go toe to toe thinking that you're going to go ahead and change the outcome? Not today. Now, I said earlier, we have my friend Chef Gina B coming in. Let's call her and see what she thinks about this situation here.
Hello?
Hello, hello, hello. What's going on? How are you?
Hey. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing so good. Welcome in. I'm so excited. I waited so long for this to happen.
I know, right?
When I knew that this was happening, I said, okay, I need Chef Gina B on here, and I'm not quite sure how this is going to tie in when it comes to relationships, but I'm going to find a way to make this thing work, and I think we got it today. And
yes, definitely.
And I will share with everybody the reason why I wanted to have Chef Gina B come on, and it's so important because sometimes we make some poor decisions when we don't feel good about ourselves. That's why it's important to have a great relationship with self first before you decide to venture out and have a relationship with somebody else or get involved in some situations. But if you're not right within and you're not healthy within, and you may not consume the right food and this, that, the next, the other, may not have a healthy routine, it could lead to some poor decision making. Ask me how I know, because I've been there before. But all right, He's Mine. You remember that joint from MoKenStef, He's Mine?
Mhm.
What you feel about what you feel about it?
My thing is, it's kind of like she's like throwing up in her face. It's like a love triangle type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, you only had him once.
Right.
I got him all the time. It's kind of like he's going out to be with somebody else, but that don't matter because he's here all the time.
Who's signing up for that? Ladies, anybody signing up for that today?
No. No. Ain't no way. I ain't having it. Ain't no way. I ain't sharing nothing. I've been married 15 years. I ain't sharing nothing.
Now we had that in the 90s. So now there's this artist named Honey Baby. Have you ever heard of her?
I don't believe I have.
She has a song called Touchin' that basically samples the Busta Rhymes song Put Your Hands.
Oh, okay.
That's my joint too. Touchin' on. That's my joint. But so I started to listen to her a little bit. She's interesting. Yeah. So the younger generation now, they have a remix version of He's Mine, and basically hers is called Blank Him Too. Now y'all afterwards y'all go ahead and check it out. But her version is Blank Him Too. All right.
Okay.
So same concept. You understand, that you ain't the only one, but you just basically showing up and saying, guess what? Yeah, blanking him too. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So that's what they got. And then I talked about SWV. Weak. I get so weak in the knees I can hardly speak. Sometimes I feel that we get into these situations because we let somebody get us so weak in the knees and to where we could hardly speak, and we just go ahead and put up and accept and do anything.
Mm-hmm.
Dope song. Like I said, it was a crazy song. And what was that? 90s, 93, 92, something like that. Crazy song. Off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was number one for like 2 years straight. So
you let yourself get in that situation, and you put up with that behavior because you're basically weak in love and head over heels, that you're willing to put up with anything just to keep that person in your life. And that's not what That's not what real love is.
Now, we're going to get into all of this love triangle. How does it happen? How do we get out? For those of you who might be in one, think you might be in one, don't know, but you might got a little inclination. We're here to help you out tonight. But before we get into all of that, I want to back up. I want to rewind. I want you to let everybody know who you are, where you're calling from, what you do, and then we can dig right back in.
Of course. Well, for those of you who may not know me, I am Chef Gina B, and I'm calling from the Carolinas. And no, I'm not giving you my exact location. Everybody ain't right in the brain out there, but I'm calling from the Carolinas. I am a Army veteran, cookbook author, retired personal chef, and I'm currently on a new path. Now, I still do catering and things like that, but I no longer, the path that I'm on now requires a lot of time, an exceptional amount of time. So I no longer have any clients, but shout out to my clients for being just amazing and understanding and wishing me well on this new journey that I'm on. I love them for that, and they were also happy for me. But that's who I am, and that's what I do. I get in the kitchen and chef it up, and I create recipes, revamp old recipes. I love making my own sauces. I love taking ingredients and random things out the kitchen because who's going to run to the store to get one or two ingredients? No, we're not doing that. We're not wasting time. We're not burning that gas. No, ma'am, no, sir.
Oh, that is so funny. I love it.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're gonna work with what we got.
I had no idea that you.
Stay on budget.
I'm sorry. I had no idea that you were a retired personal chef.
Yeah, I did personal chef and catering for a very long time, but the new path that I'm on, there's not a lot of time for that. It's really not. But that's just, I don't look at it as a sacrifice. I look at the greater reward and the greater benefit. Yeah. Do I miss it? Of course I do. Of course I miss it. But the reward is greater.
Well, you know how I feel. We were chopping it up before the show, and like I said, keep doing your thing. So mystical, how things get revealed. So, it's real. It's real.
Yeah, of course. Right. Now I still cook now. I still throw down.
Oh yeah.
I cook for my husband and my grandkids, and Korean barbecue, and I'm in here rolling out biscuits. I still have a garden, and I love making my own homemade barbecue sauce, and I got to make another batch of kimchi this week. Yeah, I still cook for the family and friends and stuff. Yes, I do. Just not clients right now.
I've never tried kimchi. My niece loves that. I heard that it's something to be reckoned with. I heard it.
Yeah. Well, my husband says, he's like, one day I'm gonna try it. I just know that it stinks, and I was like, actually, mine doesn't stink. She was like, how do you do that? I don't put shrimp paste in it. Now, I never said, or don't come for me unless I send for you. I never said I made original, authentic kimchi. This is my version. I do not put shrimp paste in my version because I don't like shrimp paste in my version. Keyword, my version. So my version doesn't stink. So this is just the way I like to eat it. I just don't like shrimp paste in it. I like to put vegan fish sauce or regular fish sauce. It's like kind of whatever I'm in the mood for. If I go to Sam's and they got bok choy on sale, that's what I'm going to put in it that day along with the Napa cabbage. If I go to the Asian market and the Napa cabbage is a good price, but it ain't looking that good, nah, I'm okay. I'm going to go get some regular cabbage to use today. It's all about preference, and it's all about choices. And you know me, I'm all about the budget. I'm not going to spend too much money.
That's what I like about you. You definitely teach us how to shop properly, which is awesome because that's right up my alley. And you do things differently too. So, one thing that I'm going to pick your brain at later is hopefully you have a great tofu recipe for us because I still have not been able to master that. And the last time you were on the show, I know you told me that I should dry it out with a paper towel and all this other stuff. Um, you can give us another recipe with tofu, I'm sure.
I got you. I got you. It's an easy one. Easy.
Good to where I don't have to be doing all this extra stuff. So
you ain't even got for this. You ain't even got to go to the stove.
Okay, we gonna get into it. So that's what you're gonna get tonight. So we're gonna talk about the love triangle, and then we're going to work our way into feeling good about ourselves, because if we feel good about ourselves, then maybe we won't make some of these poor decisions and settle for less.
Exactly.
So how do people end up in a love triangle? How do you think that happens?
I think you have to get to the root of the issue. And it all begins with the love you have for yourself. Because if you don't love yourself, then you really don't have an understanding of what love is. Because you don't know how to love. So say, for instance, if I'm someone, I really don't love myself. I don't know how to genuinely love. So I'm going to show love in other ways, like materialistically. So I'm going to look to buying someone things and showering someone with monetary things to show my love instead of showing my love in other ways. So we teach people how to treat us. So this person could be seeing me, seeing somebody else, but because I don't know how to love myself, if I'm not happy with who I am going to continue to allow this behavior, even if I catch them doing it. Because I don't know what love is, I'm thinking that this is acceptable behavior. This is how you love somebody. Oh, he has somebody else, but it's okay because he or she spends time with me. This is how you're supposed to love somebody. They got somebody else, but it's okay because they still come see me. They still come bring me things.
Wow.
They still show me some affection, but it shouldn't be that way. You should be the only one. First place or no place. You should be the only one.
First place or no place. That's so interesting.
First place or no place.
I remember this person who I had a business dealing with. This woman was okay with seeing her boyfriend, which was married, maybe like once a week. And they had been doing that for so many years. And even though that the wife didn't find out about it, and the wife knew nothing about it because they had been doing it for so many years, but let's just say like 10 years. And this woman thought that she was getting away with it. They thought that everything was going well because the wife didn't know about it. But she actually ended up losing in the long run, because the longer that you stay in a situation like that you know is no good for you, when you know that the person is no good for you, you block your blessings and opportunities of what could be. So she thought that relationship was so great. Meanwhile, the person who probably could have treated her 10 times better, they didn't have to hide anything, they didn't have to be creeping around, was waiting around a corner, but she was too busy stuck in quicksand that you can never get to the next situation. So for those of you out there who might be in a situation like that, and I know it sounds so hard, and sometimes we believe that, oh my God, I'm not going to find somebody. This might be like, Boys to Men, the end of the road. I don't know what I'm going to do. Like, only thing I have to say is just stop. Just stop. Stop and think, like, really. Because if you take some time to stop and think and really think about what situation you're in, a year from now, if that's what it takes, 6 months from now, hopefully, you won't even be like, who was that person? I can't even believe
Exactly.
that I was sitting here. You know.
Right.
Hmm.
Right. You are sitting here holding on to a rope so tight that's connected to somebody else when you could just let go and come across the person that's meant for you.
I truly believe that a lot of times we can't get to that next level because we stay stuck in quicksand. And one of my favorite quotes by Maya Angelou is, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them the first time.
Yeah.
They've already
Yeah.
they've already showed you who they are. You think that they're going to change. They're always like, oh, he's going to leave his wife.
Never.
For the fellas
Never.
out for the fellas out there, Carl Thomas done taught us, right, when he was singing "I Wish." Like, it doesn't happen. And I know family members who thugged it out for a whole time, chasing after a man, thinking that he was going to stop ripping and running and doing what he's supposed to do. And, you wasted your whole good years of your life when you were in your 20s and your 30s chasing after a man. And now here you are in your 50s and your looks are gone and you could have met somebody else, but you decided to chase after this person. So, I mean, hey, it is what it is. So
let me tell you something. Men are not complex creatures. They know what they want. So they know immediately if you are the one or not. They know that. They know that. They're very simple. They're not complex. They're very simple. They know immediately if you are the one or not. My husband knew when we were sitting in the car, pulled up to that drive-thru with them kids in the back seat, when he looked at me and said, I think I could love you. That's why I said men are simple. They know. So anything other than that, you're being strung along. And it's up to you if you put up with it or not.
Like that song, Hanging on a String. You know that song?
Yes.
That is my joint.
You got
right
hanging
there.
on a string? Exactly.
Yes. That is my joint. So, guess what? I'm in a love triangle, or I think I'm in a love triangle. Wait a minute. I'm not sure. So what are some of the signs that you might be in a love triangle? What are some things that people should look out for?
I would say, okay, it's like this. I would say, because a lot of times, I'm not saying all women. Y'all don't come for me. I'm not saying all women. But sometimes, men or women, they will let go of their ex, start dating somebody new, but still be texting and calling the ex and going to see their ex. Why? The ex is an ex for a reason.
Absolutely.
If you let that go, you let it go for a reason. So leave it alone and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you still circling back? What are you circling back for? There's no reason to circle back. Not at all. There's no reason for that. Why are you going backwards? When you progress, you move forward, right?
Absolutely.
You don't progress and step backwards.
I think you.
So
I think you pretty much summed up the night with that right there, because I had a guest on the show, Superlative Sane, out of Queens, New York. Shout out to him for coming on. But when I heard his song and I was going through something in 2020, I called him up. I'm like, I need you to come on the show. Let's speak about this. He has a song called X. And the lyrics in the song says you are X for a reason. I'm not speaking to you. It's a wrap. I'm done. Thank you so much. And this is why I don't even want to know you. When you see me in the street, don't even look my way. Don't call me. Don't whatever. You are an X for a reason. And not that it has to be, everything has to be all, I hate you. I can't stand you on. I want to do this. I want to do it. But if I'm in a new situation, there's no reason that you need to be coming in and being in the mix of my new situation. So
exactly.
This is one of the reasons why I'm single today, is because there was too much of that going on.
Exactly, because you get those texts. What you doing? I'm thinking about you. And what's up with you? What's going on?
And why are you reaching out to somebody from the past? Like I'm talking about 10 years from the past, and what's going on? So what that basically lets me know is that situation never really stopped to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
So here's another situation. This is another reason why I remain to be single by choice, because as I know who I am today, there are several situations I can get into left and right. That's not a problem at all. But see, I'm smart now. I understand, and I'm like, nah, I'm good, because listen, like my girl Mary J. Blige says off of Love Without a Heartbreak. Listen, I never claimed to be a genius, but I lived long enough to see this. Now, after I done played that same record about 2 or 3 times, now this is about the third time, and it's like, yeah, nah, I'm good. I lived long enough to see this. Listen, if they were your friend before, why is it that? Excuse me, let me back this up. If y'all were a situation before, not a relationship, a situation, but it didn't work out, and now y'all want to remain friends. So your best friend is somebody that you used to sleep with. Listen, I'm not good with that. How do you feel about that? Okay, so you meet. Let's just pretend that you're not married. Let's just throw this all off the page. This is just for
Okay.
hypothetically. So let's say you meet this guy.
Okay.
You meet this guy, and everything is cool. You and him start dating or talking within the first, just say the first month. First month, all of a sudden, you find out that his best friend is somebody that he used to sleep with in the past. Um, let's just say the first two couple weeks, because you didn't know, and this person just pops up. Let's call her name Samantha. Samantha, yeah, is my best friend. We used to have something going on in the past, but it didn't work, so we just decided to be good friends because it just works that way. How do you feel about that situation?
Oh no. Oh no.
No,
No.
no, you're not doing
Because
that.
the waters are already murky,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
so there's a possibility that situation might rise up again. Because who's to say that it didn't work then? Maybe the timing wasn't right, but who's to say later on down the line the timing might be right, and y'all might want to give it another shot. Yeah, I just avoid that altogether, because even though life is about timing. Timing is everything. So even though it didn't work then, who's to say later on down the road
No,
it
no,
won't work?
no. Listen. From experience. Listen. Excuse my language. I don't mean that. I'm gonna keep it clean. If that didn't work back then, it ain't gonna work now. Forget it. It's a wrap.
I just wouldn't even want to.
Been there.
I wouldn't even want to get.
Been there and done that and tried that. And I've just twice. Oh, let's go ahead.
Everybody's situation is different. It might work for some, might not work for others. But I wouldn't even want to get into that.
We gotta.
I wouldn't even want to. Because we're human now. I could sit here and say, well, no, that won't bother me at all. But we're human. We're human. We all get a little emotional. And that emotional side might be like,
Oh, we're gonna go there.
Nah.
Because I unexplained agree with you on that. And SOS, I'm gonna get to your comment, but this is one reason why I don't do that, because I've always been a looker, right? I'm always going after the looks, the wrong thing, right? Going after the looks, and I can't be friends with my exes because I never really dated any people that were ugly like that. So listen, if it's all about the looks, right? Was real shallow back in the day. All about the looks, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting here saying that you my friend, and all of a sudden we might be toasting it up, having a little drink or whatever.
Be a little jazzy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then all of a sudden, yeah, that friend might start looking good, and there might be a situation. So I can't put myself in that situation. So now for me, knowing how I am and some of my carnal ways, I just never trusted that situation because I knew that maybe I didn't trust myself. How about that? Because
that's a good way to say it.
Since I didn't trust myself, because I know that, I could be a savage in certain ways, in certain situations. I'm like, nah, we're not going down like that. So I tricked myself and I put myself in those situations, but then was always doubting and always going against the grain and always scheming and thinking that somebody was doing something behind my back. And in reality, if I loved myself enough to know, I would have never put myself in that situation in the first place.
Exactly. So if you love yourself and you're securing yourself, you wouldn't even be thinking that way. So yeah. So I get it. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Now,
So yeah.
Burning Sky says, "Hey y'all, wait a minute. My ex-husband left me for a woman that he is currently married to. So some of them do leave their wives." You're absolutely right. It now listen, that does happen.
That's true.
That
That's
does
true.
happen. Yes, listen.
That's true.
Let me shut my mouth. I
I'm
ain't gonna
sorry.
say nothing.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that happens to her. But yeah, that's true. Some of them do.
SOS, I just want to have to let you know that you're not the only one. It happens a lot. And actually, the blessing behind it is that when you can look at it and be like, man, she did me a favor, or man, he did me a favor. When you get to that point,
Or
when you get to that,
he did it to me, you don't think he's gonna do it to you?
Oh, that's coming up too. That's coming up soon. It may have not happened yet, but that's coming up soon because what do they say about a leopard never changes their spots? Something like that. Oh yeah, it's coming. It's coming. And if it hasn't, it's already happening. It just hasn't been done yet. It hasn't been come to the surface yet because what's done in darkness is going to come to light. So you don't have to worry about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Onyx Blade says, just to let you know, I agree with the men knowing if they were going to marry you or not. Oh yeah, they know.
Mm-hmm. They know. That's what I said. Men are simple. They know. They know if they're dating to marry you or if they're just dating to pass the time until they find the one they're going to marry. They know.
I mean, I think Steve Harvey did a good job of letting us know that and act like a lady, think like a man. He did a great job of laying that out. So, did you agree with that? Did you think that was on point the way he did that? Act like a lady, think like a man. You thought it was on point?
Yeah, that was pretty much. I mean, I ain't gonna set myself up to get attacked in the comments, but I thought it was good.
That's good.
I'm gonna be neutral and say I thought it was good. I thought it was good.
That's what's up.
But I don't want y'all to come kill me. I don't want y'all in the comments trying to kill me. But I thought it was good.
SOS says she did me a favor. Absolutely. Like we talked about the silver lining and saying goodbye to some people. When you in it though, you be in it and you be so angry and you be ready to rip their faces off and you be ready to. But after a while, you just look back and you be like, "Damn, you did me a favor." And then
exactly.
And then after this, check this out. Now this is where Chef Gina B comes in. So then after they do you a favor, right? And I'm just speaking from experience. I want y'all to come on this journey with me because this is so uplifting. You know, after you go through that, right? And you got to pick yourself up because ain't nobody going to do it but you. So you go ahead and pick yourself up and you give yourself a hug. And then all of a sudden you start to look in the mirror and then you start to say, wow, maybe I don't like the way I look. Maybe this needs to be this way. Maybe this needs to be that way. You can explore and you can change and you can do certain things. But then now you don't got all that extra baggage. You don't got all that BS. You don't have all that stress. You don't have all of that back and forth texting wars, chasing people, driving by, trying to blow up spot. All of that energy that you had to put into all of that chasing down, arguing, fighting, fussing, and fighting. Now you can take all of that energy and you can put it into you. So,
exactly.
And putting it into you means eating healthier, maybe doing some exercise and changing up your wardrobe. Throw it all out. Get rid of it all. Change it all up. Become the new you. Do whatever you want to do that works for you. That's the beauty behind it. And when I was going through some shakeups in my life, I decided to start with the wardrobe, and followed by that came. Actually, let me back that up. It was in reverse. Started with the diet first. I changed up my diet. That's the first thing I started to do. I became a pescatarian. And then after I changed my diet and changed my eating habits, I was like, okay, so now some of these clothes are not fitting the way that they used to fit because I shed a whole bunch of pounds. And actually, that was the old me, and I never liked half of that stuff anyway. So then you could start to, transform and morph into the different person that you are. So listen, after you start to eat healthier, after you start to be a little bit more mindful as far as the people, places, and things that you consume, I'm telling you, it's a big old transformation. So
it is. It really is.
Let's talk about food because I'm going to tell you about how I used to be with food. And then, of course, you can help us out. for people who want to get on this little healthy tip here. I agree with the gist of what Steve was saying. Okay. Steve Harvey, thank you so much for still hanging out there with me on Explain. Food, a relationship with food is very important. I used to have a very toxic, disrespectful, don't make no sense. If my mama knew about how I used to eat food, she would probably look at me like, what is wrong with you? So I was in retail for over 20 years and I stayed in drive-throughs for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I ended up gaining damn near 20 pounds from eating crazy like that. And when I was eating like that, of course, I didn't feel good about myself. Of course, when I got into these situations where it was a love triangle, I'm looking at the other person trying to compare myself and getting very upset and very pissed off. Like, I'm not going to win this battle because my body don't look like that. I'm not going to win this. That's what I would used to think. And it's not all about, the outer appearance. Of course, it's about, how you are as a human being. But if you don't feel good on the inside, it ain't going to show up on the outside. And I most certainly wasn't feeling good on the inside. It wasn't showing up on the outside. It wasn't showing up anywhere. But I will tell you, though, that after I got rid of all of that toxic stuff, after I changed up my diet and I put a stance and I said, absolutely not, I'm not eating this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. The pounds did come off, and that's just part of it. Because that's the outer appearance. That's temporary. That stuff is going to fade no matter what. But my mind changes once you start to get, on a healthier path and you start to consume things that are good and nourishing and uplifting for your body. You will start to think better. And therefore, when that next situation shows up, your mind's not going to be all clouded and you're not going to be all off your game and end up making the same mistake. People don't understand how important food ties into making healthy decisions in life too. Can you fill us in on that?
You can, because you have to realize we're talking about relationships, but relationships not only can be applied spiritually and not just relationships with your spouses and your friends, but also you have to heal your relationship with food. Just like we got to the root of the love triangle when we talked about loving yourself, but we also have to get to the relationship, the root of your relationship with food. Like you said, you were eating things that you shouldn't been eating because you didn't have a healthy relationship with food, and I can relate to that. I was just eating whatever. Like, I didn't care. I was just eating whatever I want.
What?
And then I looked at my lab work. Yeah, I had, I was doing really good. I was on track. Everything was great. And then, how we say, life be out here lifing? Life was lifing. And, I haven't always had the healthiest relationship with food. I was an emotional eater for a long time. And you notice people who deal with mental health like PTSD, emotional trauma from their childhood and things like that, you tend to see people, they tend to be emotional eaters, so dealing with things like that, and then you look at your lab work and you're like, oh my God, I got to change.
Yeah.
I got to change if I want to be healthy. So you tend to look at how you can change. You can't just tell people you got to change. You got to give them the tools they need. So it's all about just wanting to be healthier. And like you said, you start eating healthier, and you see the scale go down, but it's not about the scale. We want to look at your labs, your A1C, your cholesterol. You want to look at those numbers. It's not about the scale. How do you feel? How does your body feel? How are your clothes fitting?
Right.
You're not out of breath when you walk upstairs. Those types of things. So that's what you really want to look at. Do you feel good when you get up in the morning? We want to look at that versus focusing on the number on the scale. So that's what I turn my focus toward. And then your mindset changes. You feel better about yourself. You start to love yourself. You don't worry about what others think about you or what they, what they tend to say about you. You don't care about any of that stuff. And then you notice that you love yourself and you don't reach for food as much as a rewarder when you accomplish stuff. You start to reward yourself in other ways. Let me go get a manicure. Let me go get a pedicure. Let me go shopping. Let me do this. Food is not always your reward when you accomplish something. So you begin to heal your relationship with food and you're taking better care of yourself. So those are the things that you want to look at when you work on your relationship with food. So it's a mind thing. It's just a wonderful thing when you're healing yourself and working on your relationships, personal and with food. It's just really a great thing. And it's also good when you walk by a mirror and you say, "Ooh, look at me. Look at me. Can't nobody tell me nothing." So yeah, that's what it did for me. And I noticed that I started out wanting to be healthier and looking good for me.
Mm-hmm.
But in that process, I also wanted to be healthier for my spouse and look good for my spouse as well.
That makes
just
sense.
Be around for my grandkids.
Yeah.
Be here for them. Because if I don't take care of me, how can I take care of everybody else?
Exactly. No, that definitely makes sense. And the food thing was definitely one of the first things that I had to get in check. Like I love food. Like I absolutely love food. So today I have to sometimes remind myself to eat. Not that I'm starving myself, but that whole, you got to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, says who? Where is it written down that that's what it should be?
Exactly. That's like a societal thing. Oh, you have to eat 30 meals a day. Why? Who said that?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Then you'd be wondering
why.
But now listen, when I do eat, don't come looking at me. I don't want anybody looking at me. Because like I said, I skip meals and I have to remind myself now when I eat, trust and believe that I'm going in and don't be looking at me like, oh, he did. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Because I worked hard for this. Because I have missed a couple meals. Now, by the time when I get ready to sit down and eat, it's on and popping. So
exactly. Because you get busy.
Yeah.
You get busy doing things. You're like, oh, Lord, it's 2, 3 o'clock. Wait a minute now. Now, I will say this. Nobody said you're required to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. But I will say, if you have a busy lifestyle, it is important for you to eat a good breakfast because you're going to be burning that off all day. Because you're going to be going. So, yes, it is good for you to eat in the morning and eat lunch because you're going to burn that off. Now, if you're somebody who's not going to be doing a whole lot, not really too much, I wouldn't suggest you eat a whole lot early on. But what you don't want to do is eat a real heavy dinner and then lay down because it's going to take longer for that food to digest, which means you're going to end up carrying that your body's going to end up holding on to most of that because you're just eating and laying down. You're not burning that off.
Let me tell
that's
you,
what I was thinking.
I used to live like that a lot. That used to actually food used to put me to sleep. I used to.
You was in a food coma.
Like I'm not going to bed until I eat first. That's how I used to be. Ridiculous. Like I told you, I used to have some terrible eating habits. Now I got a little confession. I did run down to the boardwalk and I did get me like 2 slices of pizza today. I was like, now, should you really be doing this? But I'm like, damn, I just want some pizza. But then I knew that you were coming on and then you're going to help me out with eating healthier after that. So it is what it is. You can treat yourself every now and then.
Look, eating healthy is not about denying yourself food. I had to learn that throughout this whole process and this new journey because our Father wants us to have great things. It's not about denying yourself things. But like we were talking about earlier, we have to be mindful of what we're eating. Now, don't think I don't enjoy a good iced coffee. Don't think I don't like me. I'm going to go old school with it. Some turtle.
Turtle? What's that?
Or turtle. Like a pecan sauce. You know, like the pecan, the caramel, the chocolate.
Oh, because
On the case.
listen, because my grandfather actually cooked snapping turtle. That's why I was like, what are you talking about?
It's like the pecan, the caramel, the chocolate,
I know what you
the little sea salt. Yeah, but I'm just saying it's all about being mindful and all about moderation. Now, the old emotional eater probably would have sat there and ate a whole thing of chocolate turtle.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
But being mindful, I haven't had none in like 2 or 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Let me enjoy them. They were great. I'm good. So it's not about denying yourself things. It's about eating what you want to eat and having what you want to have, but we don't have to go overboard with it.
How about this? It's good.
We can have it in moderation.
This is a good thing here. It's good to have food, but don't let food have you.
Exactly. Eat to live. Don't live to eat. It was the title of a book that my first dietitian, she's no longer here in the Carolinas. She got transferred somewhere else. But she had gave me this book, Eat to Live, Don't Live. Eat to live, don't live to eat.
Right. That makes sense.
I'll post it in my stories. I'll post it in my stories on IG and Facebook. Or either I'll put it in the comments. Yeah. I'll put it in the comments. Mm-hmm. I'll post it and I'll tag you for anybody who wants. It's a really, really good book. It makes so much sense because you only have this one body. This one body. So you need to fuel it so you can live your longest life possible.
Absolutely. Well, that makes sense. We sum that up. I'm going to talk a little bit more about food before we get out of here. But now it's the segment of the show where I basically flip it and I put my guests in a hot seat, and this is called Burning Questions. The official 411 podcast hotline number is 609-200-1098. So if you want to respond to tonight's questions, if you have any burning questions that you might want me to bring up in future podcast shows, thank you so much to everybody who's joining out there. I appreciate you. I appreciate all the love and support. Text me, holla at me, 609-200-1098. Let me know what you feel about tonight's burning questions. Now, I have a little comment here. I saw SOS talking about the food coma. Yeah, that was interesting. I used to always eat and then go right to sleep like that's what we do. Katie Dids, that's what we used to call the chocolate caramel turtle candy. All right. So many people love them. Okay. My mother loves them. Here's the burning questions for tonight. We getting ready to spice it up here. Have you ever found yourself caught in a love triangle, torn between two people you care deeply about? What led to this situation, and how did you navigate the complexities of balancing emotions and commitments? I'll read it one more time for those of you out there. Drop it in the comments. You can, of course, hit the hotline up and let me know too as well. Have you ever found yourself caught in a love triangle, torn between two people you deeply cared about? What led to this situation, and how did you navigate the complexities of balancing emotions and commitments? Now, if you don't want to answer, that's cool.
No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about this. No, because me personally, no, because I don't put up with it. But let me tell you, just from being in the military, I just never understood. Like, I just would never get it. Like, because, like, being in the military, like, I did live in the barracks up to a certain point, like, until I got pregnant. Like, I was 6 months and I was in housing. But before they moved me into housing, like, I would just be in the barracks. And I would just be looking at these other soldiers. And, like, it would be crazy to me. Because, like, they would be putting up with the craziest behavior from these soldiers. And I would just sit there like, he's seeing you. He's seeing the girl on the second floor.
Oh,
like, wow. Y'all out here fighting in the parking lot.
Wow. In the military, they go down like that?
Who making the same amount of money as you making?
Oh wow, they go
And
down like that.
the next day, here he come walking down the hall. You letting him right back in. I know what y'all doing over there because these walls is super thin.
Oh
Like,
no.
why is you putting up with that?
Listen,
Like, why?
I didn't know that the military had a World Star edition. Oh snap.
I'm telling you,
Mm.
like, or we would get dressed up to go out. Like when I got to my duty station, I was pregnant, but I wasn't showing.
Mm-hmm.
And we would go out, and I would just be like, "You do know." In my mind, I would just be like, "You over there talking to him, but you do know that he is talking to my roommate, right? Like I know he talking to my roommate."
Wow.
And you my roommate standing next to me. Why ain't you over there checking that situation? Like you see him over there with her. Why you ain't checking it? You are literally just gonna let him be all up on her, not say nothing, but you know he gonna be in your face tomorrow. Like you really just gonna allow that to happen? Like you comfortable with that?
That's crazy.
Like really?
Craziness.
And I never understood that. I just never understood why they would put up with that. Like all these men around here, like literally all these men around here, and y'all are just sharing a man, and y'all are okay with that. Like, where is your self-love? Where is your self-worth? Ain't no way. Couldn't be me. Ain't no way.
Listen,
I just never understood that.
I'm gonna help you out here. Have you ever found yourself caught in a love triangle, torn between two people that you deeply cared about? I unfortunately will say yes. I've been in that situation. Now, you just said you don't understand how people could put up with that. Now, what led you into this situation? So, in the past, what led into that situation is seeking validation, not knowing who you are, not wanting to wait, because sometimes you got to wait. You don't want to sit here and jump and run into the first situation or first person that pays attention to you, because that could be a problem. So, what led me into that? Just carnal ways, carnal thinking, not wanting to wait, wanting things, wanting somebody that's not even yours. When you think that you can, overtake and overpower the situation, and I'm better, I got a better car, I look fly, all of that stuff. That's what leads you into those situations because you think. Or it starts off with a friends with benefits situation, which we're gonna get into on Thursday night, and somebody starts to catch feelings. Wait, hold up, back up. Wait a minute. Okay. This was just supposed to be this situation, but now you over here are starting to. Okay, all right. So we're gonna go from casual. Okay. We're gonna go from casual to complicated. That's what's coming up on Thursday. Okay. But sometimes that's how that happens. Now, how did you navigate the complexities of all of that stuff and balancing it? For me personally, for anybody out there that's dealing with it, you don't. You think that you navigate, you think that you're doing the right thing, right, and you think that you got it in balance and everything like that, and you end up picking this one, but that wasn't the one you were supposed to pick, or you end up picking up that one, but that wasn't the one you were supposed to pick, and then this one gets mad at this one, and then that one gets mad. Now you done lost both of them, and now it's a situation, and you probably should have lost both of them because that's the only way you're going to be able to fix it is you burn it all the way to the ground, and then sit here and look at yourself and say, how did I get here? And we ain't going to do it again. Absolutely not. And then you start to build yourself up.
Yeah, or he walks away from both of them, and you're the friend that's sitting there while they're crying.
Craziness.
Yeah.
Wow. I knew that it was going to happen. What's going on? We have someone out here on Twitch says, hello, sorry to bother you. Absolutely not. That's a spam. Get out of here. And then we have... SOS says, yes, I was in love with a military guy, but I chose to marry the a-hole I divorced from. So, who is also a former military. So, yes. So you were caught up in a love triangle. I believe that when there's love triangles going on and there's things like that, the only way to fix it is to get out of it. Just walk away from both of them and then take some time for yourself to be able to ask yourself, does this make sense? And then go from there. Like walk away from both of them.
And then ask yourself, why was I even in that?
It's better off that you walk away from them before they walk away from you. That's what I have to say. So that was Burning Questions. We have Chef Gina B in the building tonight. Thank you so much for coming through. Now, let's talk about some good, healthy alternatives. I know you always help me out. I share with you that I'm a pescatarian. I can stand to beef up a heck of a lot more vegetables. I know you have some great tofu recipes. If there's anybody out there like me that used to just be consumed with meat, I would just eat meat, not necessarily the greens and just, chicken here, pork chops, whatever it was. That's how I used to eat. So when I transitioned to pescatarian, it's easy for me to go eat seafood all day. But of course, that's not healthy for you to stay on that kick either. So what are some other healthy alternatives or some recipes that, or foods that, somebody like me can eat?
Well, I know that you're not a big fan of tofu. I know that.
Well, I just don't know how to cook it. I like it. I like for other people to cook it for me, but I don't cook it myself.
Do you like spicy food?
Absolutely. Sign me up for that all day.
Okay, so get your pen and your paper. You're about to go to school.
Now, do I have?
I am going to give you something. It's really simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's really simple. So a spicy cucumber salad.
Sounds good.
It's really simple. It's really easy. I think you'll like it. Okay, so what you're going to do is you are going to do, y'all know I don't measure nothing. That's why it's so hard when it comes to writing a cookbook, because I really got to try to hone in on the measurements. So
okay,
I measure with my heart. So these are guesstimates. Adjust these according to your liking. So you're going to do, excuse me. So you're going to get you a couple of cucumbers. You can use any kind of cucumbers you want. You can use regular cucumbers, English cucumbers, pickling cucumbers. It really doesn't matter. Just get you some cucumbers, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just regular old cucumbers. You're going to get you some, you can use red pepper flakes, but I like to use gochugaru.
I love them.
Which is Korean pepper flakes,
mm-hmm.
Korean pepper paste. But you can use pepper flakes. You're going to get you a tablespoon of sugar.
Oh, no.
A tablespoon of fish sauce. Huh?
I don't do no sugar at all. No added sugar.
Okay, so.
No, I stay away from that.
No, you're good. Give me a second. We're going to rewind, and I'm going to give you my version. That was the regular version that I give the kids. Let me give you my version.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of gochugaru. 1 tablespoon of stevia. 1 tablespoon of fish sauce. 1 tablespoon of sesame oil.
Mm-hmm.
1.5 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar.
Okay.
If you don't have apple cider vinegar, you can use rice wine vinegar.
Mm.
And half a tablespoon of minced garlic. And then you just mix that together.
That sounds
and
good.
You just pour it over the sliced cucumbers. You toss it, and you eat it.
That's very simple, and that sounds good too.
It's really, really good. Now, if you want to jazz it up a little bit, you can toss in some sesame seeds, white or black.
Mm-hmm.
You can do like a sliced green onion or a sliced red onion. And if you don't have fish sauce, soy sauce will work.
Okay. That actually does sound good.
That's just something quick and simple that I like to throw together if I want a snack. But this is something that you throw it together and you eat it right then. Because if you throw it together and try to eat it later, all the moisture is going to be pulled out of the cucumbers.
Yeah.
And the sauce will end up getting watery. Yeah, so you don't want to make it and then eat it later.
That's good. I saw a good cucumber salad. They had cucumbers, they had onions, and they had tomatoes in there. So
Mhm.
yeah, that sounds good. Definitely something
Yeah.
I'm going to
So, or
look.
you can always do cucumber, red onion, tomato, and then drizzle with a little balsamic vinaigrette glaze. You don't have to make it yourself. They do sell it in like Walmart, Food Lion, Harris Teeter. That's something simple and quick you could do.
That sounds real good with like a blush wine on a nice hot
Mhm.
summer day, like what we got
Yeah.
going on now.
But
That sounds good. Yeah.
I always have the other version because the kids be like, we don't like stevia. So their version has sugar. But, I don't do sugar. I do stevia.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, one
Yeah.
more quick recipe that you have for us that we could get more vegetables
Okay.
in, more vegetables.
Okay, so I got a quick recipe that you can do if you want to incorporate tofu, but you don't like tofu, or do you want
No, yeah,
for
tofu.
people who don't
Tofu is
like
good.
okra? Okay, so we'll do the tofu.
Yeah.
So this is a Caesar dressing made with tofu.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna get a food processor or a blender. So and nothing is measured, so you just gotta guess.
Mm-hmm.
Measure with a heart. So silken tofu. Make sure it's silken because you want it creamy.
Okay.
Lemon zest. Huh?
So that's the difference. Silken tofu is going to be creamy. So that's basically there's a firm one too, right?
Yeah, there's silken tofu,
Mm-hmm.
Firm, extra firm. We use the firm and extra firm when we make the tofu chicken nuggets. Yeah, so silken tofu because we're making a dressing, we want it to be creamy.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So silken tofu, lemon zest, roasted garlic, or me, I just like regular raw garlic because I love garlic. Some fresh Parmesan or grated Parmesan at the deli section. A little EVOO, extra virgin olive oil.
Gotcha.
A little salt and pepper. Some sesame seeds, black or white, and a little fish sauce or soy sauce. And blend that up. And then you have Caesar dressing that you just made with tofu. So you're getting your protein.
That's one of my favorite dressings, Caesar dressing. Now, if I have Caesar dressing, I'm eating every vegetable that there possibly is. And then every now and then I'll trick myself and buy ranch and then be like, now, why did you do that? Because you know you really love Caesar. But yeah, absolutely. I got some ranch right now that I'm like, yeah, now I'm not really feeling that. It's time to buy some more Caesar dressing. That's good. I love that. Thank you for those recipes. I appreciate that. Now, before we get out of here, let everyone know where they can follow you at, where they can, check out any of your other recipes that you have. I know you have other things going on. This is not just vegan and it's not, a pescatarian or vegetarian diet. Regina, she cooks a lot of different things. So let everyone know.
So you can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Chef Gina B. I believe Facebook is still under Honestly Vegan because I haven't switched Facebook over to Chef Gina B. Because like I said, I was vegan for like 5 years, but I consider myself a flexitarian because I still do plant-based, but I just don't label myself in any category. I just try to do healthy, mindful eating and just be aware of our treatment of animals and the resources that we use on our planet and just try to do the best I can. I'm not perfect. I'm human. I do err. I do make mistakes. I just try to be mindful of my body and what I put in it. And that's all I can do is be mindful of me.
Absolutely. I love that with labels. The world would be so much of a better place if we stopped putting labels on certain things.
I'm not here to beat you up for your eating habits. I'm just trying to make sure I'm taking care of me. I ain't got time to focus on nobody else. I'm trying to take care of me.
I feel you on that. Thank you so much for coming in. It's been fun. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
This has been amazing.
Of course.
Well, I will talk to you soon and stay safe and keep those recipes coming because I'll be checking them out.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care. Have a good night. Talk to you soon.
All right. You too.
All right. Good night.
Bye.
All right, y'all. So there you have it. That was Chef Gina B coming in the building tonight, hanging out with me, talking about the crazy talk that we talked about tonight, these love triangles, and ending it on a nice note of mindful eating, healthy eating habits. Because listen, when you go through some things and you come out on the other end, it's only a better way to go up. When you've been down in the trenches and you look at the end, it's going to get better. So, any of you out there tonight that have any questions about tonight's show, please, of course, you can text me at 609 200 1098. Let me know how you feel about the show. You can answer those burning questions, or, of course, if you have any other questions that you want to bring up or want me to discuss, drop it there and let me know. Now, of course, I could not do this without the love and support from each and every one of you out there. Thank you so much for all of the love and support. Please like, comment, share, subscribe, tag a friend, bring them in. We still gonna be rocking and rolling. We going to Newark, New Jersey tomorrow. Rockwell coming in with O'Shea candles. So yeah, we gonna be living it up with that. And then we have author Birdman coming in. I can't wait to speak to him. And Miss Donnie Nicole is just lighting it up. I can't wait to speak to her about this whole love affair single that she has out now. What a perfect opportunity to be discussing it here on realm of relationships. So we just talking about relationships, and we're gonna keep going in and going in and going in. And the message and the theme behind this whole week is: listen, I know that we've been through some things. We might still be going through them now, but how do we come through it? And when we come through it and we come out on the other end, when we look back, are we looking back with some peace? Are we looking back with some happiness? Are we looking back with some relief? Or are we looking at it from an angry perspective? Are we looking at it that somebody did something to us? Are we looking at it that somebody took something from us? SOS had a great comment. She did me a favor. A lot of these people are doing you a favor. When they turn their back on you, they do the 180, they turn around and they give you their to kiss. Just think, they're doing you a favor. Now, you do yourself a disservice and you do yourself some harm and you do yourself some great issues when we don't listen to that. Because sometimes God will remove people from our lives or attempt to remove people from our lives, but we just keep going against the grain. We just want to keep hanging on, just like that song, Hanging on a String by Loose Ends. There we go. I needed to get that group together. That's my joint, Loose Ends, Hanging on a String. Stop asking people, are they playing games with you? Stop. You already know the answer is right there. You just have to look within self and get it together with self so you can move on and get past these situations. But again, everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own way of thinking and their timing. You can't force it. But like I know better, it's all cool. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just a friend. I can't tell you what to do. Only thing I can do is give you my real life experiences. But when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, you're going to get sick of yourself. You're going to get sick of looking the way you're looking. You're going to get sick of feeling the way you're feeling. Like, why am I sitting here on another holiday by myself when I know that he or she is out with somebody else? When you get sick and tired and when you get good and sick and tired of yourself, trust and believe that you're going to make a jump and you're going to make a leap. And when you do, I know it's going to be hurtful. I know it's going to be painful. I know it's going to sting. But when you come out on the other side and when you can look at that relationship and you can look at that person, you can say these two words: thank you. That's it. Thank you. Thank you so much for showing me who you are, because now that I know who you are, we good. That was one of the best breakthrough moments for me. When people started saying, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that or it's a wrap, I stopped going back and forth with people. I just started saying thank you. And that's a wrap. Delete, unfollow, unsubscribe, whatever it is. Like, thank you. No need to go back and forth. No need to go round and round. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining in. Please, if you want to go ahead and stay connected, Whispers of Wisdom, I'm going to take you on a musical journey. That's my free monthly newsletter. Go to LarenGaines.com and sign up for that, and we can keep you posted and up to date on monthly nice content delivered to your inbox once a month. If you enjoyed the conversations that we had tonight, just like I had with my guest all week, you can keep this going on. We can have one-on-one private conversations with the coaching sessions. Again, head on over to LarenGaines.com and check that out. If you check out the Black Diamond Shop, we have all great new things in there. Coaching sessions. I have some reading between the wines apparel, and there's new things that are going to continue to pop up as we continue to flow on this journey. So check out LarenGaines.com. Stay connected. Again, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, D Live, Twitch, Daily Motion, and YouTube. Follow me, subscribe me across all platforms, because you never know what content is going to pop up here, there, next, there, the other. Great night tonight. Thank you so much, Chef Gina B. We have Raquel Hernandez coming in tomorrow night, all the way from Newark, New Jersey. We're going to talk about some candles, and this is about self-love. This is about not being so jealous and not being so envious of this one, that one. And yeah, we're going to talk about it. Anybody been jealous in the past? Realize that they just couldn't control themselves? You might want to come back tomorrow, because we're going to speak about being jealous. If you've ever been in a jealous situation, a jealous relationship, come back tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Discord Sphere Realm of Relationships live from Atlantic City, New Jersey. Take care, y'all. Good night. Have a good night.